We have got this Sunset Trail. This is the way, well, obviously we tore the roof off. I think a tree branch hit it and it ripped the roof. But some of the things that I noticed, as you can see, this is black tape. That's all that is. That's just black, you know, like Gorilla Tape. Now, the whole point of it is to try to protect it, but there are the staples. There's a staple right here. I'll show you that. I get this peeled up a little bit. Come on. See the staples all under there? So it doesn't really prevent the staples from popping loose. Okay? It'll still come up through and it'll come up through there. But one of the other, then they got, this is drywall mesh. This is literally what you use on drywall. Well, that's what it is. See it? Drywall mesh. So some of the other concerns that we have, we're going to end up redecking this. And one, there's only this is 5 mil decking. Yeah, I can show you. Here's how thin that is. See, you can't walk on that. Look at this. You go to walk on that thing. I'm a petite 225. I'd probably go right through that thing. But some of the other issues that we don't like is when they screw these down, they breach the face. You have to put this down much like drywall, but when you go much lower than that, you know, like when you sink that screw or try to countersink it, you lost the strength of all that. And what happens is it starts to pop loose. And I'll show you. So, a lot of this isn't sitting tight, like you can see around this AC. See, the panel isn't sitting tight to the other one. Right here, see it? Then, what is it? Look at this one here. You see? So they're not going to sit well. If you would put this down, and you also got the board, you know, arched. Now this should have been stapled, if anything. And I'll bet, more than likely, there's no glue on this either to keep it tight. I'm pretty certain of that. No, there's no glue in there. I can virtually pull that up. Now the glue, this little bit glue you're seeing right here, that's for the roofing. And it was kind of sporadic. Now you can see some blank wood spots. You could probably see them where the glue didn't take. Like they kind of put it on, but they kind of just swashed it on instead of actually applied it properly. Get it done. Get it built. Get it built. Get it out. Get it sold. That's the motto. So we're going to end up redecking this, taking this all apart, and I have to take this up because even if I want to go over this, which I do, I want to go over this, but since this isn't glued down, if I put the new roof deck down, it's not glued. If it's not glued, then you're screwed. It isn't going to work right. So this is awesome. Dicor failing already. See all the cracks? Dicor wants you to recognize that as failure and go out and spend another $12 and put more on. The only ones that put more on is a moron. There's something wrong with that system. Dicor has exploited people. They've exploited people's ignorance, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Ignorance meaning people's just lack of knowledge on roof systems. And they have just exploited that to the max. And they take the crappiest product and they go, hey, you know what you got to do is you got to do it every few months. That's what you got to do. That's how the RV roofs are, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's only $12 a tube. Hey, by the way, you gotta get up there and put a coating on your roof system. Yeah, that's how RV roofs work. Oh, you also got to put a conditioner. Then you got to massage it. Then you got to love it. And then you got to hug it and send it Christmas cards. That's ridiculous. And they are exploiting people. That's just plain out wrong. The purpose of my videos here, these aren't DIY videos. They're not intended for that. My videos are intended to show folks what to look for and what the RV industry is doing and to wise up. And the next time you need some work, do some homework and find out exactly who's doing your job, who's going to do your job, and to make sure it's done right. You don't want to do this twice. So in their case here, since a tree went through it, there's an insurance claim. So, but still, they're expensive to do. They take a little bit of time to do. So we're going to end up building all these curbs. We're going to build them all up. And right here, these will all be elevated. I'll make special boots for these plumbing. Make a special mount for this as well, this antenna. And then as well as the skylight and everything. Everything will be all elevated up off this roof. That's the proper way to do it. But in the meantime, what's going on underneath the roof? this is what I'm showing you here. This matters, because if this isn't done right, what good is the roof? It doesn't, the roof is going to fail. So we want to make all those corrections here. And I've seen guys on YouTube that try to show you how to do things and they're just flat out wrong. They're not doing the proper steps. So then you look at the overall and you go, wow, that looks good, did a quality job. You can make anything look nice with a coat of paint or coatings, and anybody can do that. It's what's underneath it. That's what matters. So if you don't have a good foundation, you're just not going to have a good product overall, whether it be your house or even something like this. So keeping all this in mind, like I said, we're going to tear all this up. And we'll show you if we find anything else, but I have to tear it up because when I put new decking down, I got to glue the new decking to the trusses. I'm not going to just put in a few screws like they did here. Although I got to say, this is more screws than I've seen. The bad side about putting the screws on is typically you'll split, or you could potentially split the truss. So with staples, once you glue it, boy, you can come in, you can just load it up with staples. You're not going to split it all up. So, and the staples will hold better than this because the crown, the head of the staple, will be wider, which will give it a better bite. And but like I said, we got to get some more decking on here. So I noticed a little bit of water standing here. Not sure where that may have came from, right there. And then I noticed I got a hole there, and there's a couple of more little holes. You can see, like, it looks like around here we got some, maybe some water that possibly looking like it's trying to get in there, possibly even right here. So when we start taking all these components off, when we start doing that, then we'll know exactly, you know, how much water got in there, if any. But we're going to open it up. So now when we open it up, we'll check everything underneath there. We'll check the insulation, we'll check the wires, we'll check everything. It's all open. That's the best time to do it. So, all right, enough jibber jabber. Let me get to work, and we'll catch up with you in the next clip. All right, so we got some of these components coming off already. We'll start to take the shoulder off on that side. Then we put some protection in here so nothing gets down inside the coach. We got the AC loosened up, protected the awning right here, and now we're doing the same. We're putting some protection in there on that. And some of the other things you're looking at, this is 5 mil, really thin. We're probably only going to be able to go over this with 1/4-inch plywood, because if we build up too much, none of this is going to fit right on this corner. It will not fit right, because then what will happen is it'll elevate this. So we got 1/4-inch, then we'll have a protective strip on there of 60 mil, and we'll have a protective strip on there for, not a protective strip of 60 mil, then the main roofing of 60 mil. That'll build it up at least another 1/8 of an inch. So, you know, that I don't know how much they cut underneath here, but we've had issues before where we've had to put a piece of aluminum in to, you know, black piece, and trim it out to make it look good. But then we got lights, look how far they're coming up. So we wouldn't be able to put a nice piece in there. So we're probably going to have to go with 1/4-inch plywood. This is not plywood, this is Luan. Big difference. 1/4-inch plywood will have a lot more strength than this. And then we'll figure out exactly if we have to add strength, we'll have to do it inside, meaning in the structure or whatever. But some of the things that they did is, I think I showed you that before, they put the screws in so far that they actually went through, they're not smooth. Like this needs to be, this type of wood in this application, the screws should be flush with the surface like drywall screws. But they didn't, they sank them down in there, so they already, look how far down that is. That's almost half of what this is, you know. It had to get out more than that. So this actually isn't even, I mean, that isn't even 5 mil. I don't think that's 5 mil. No. That's not 5 mil. That's 2.7. Wow. That's the stuff that's behind the fiberglass. That's the same that's behind this fiberglass. That's all that is. That's even thinner than that. Yeah. There's it here. Yep. That's what it'll be. That's the same stuff. This is 1/8 inch right here. That's what they call it. It's 2.7. That's all that is. It is even, wow. They're getting even cheaper now. And one of the other things, let me show this over here. I just want to show where they missed this piece over here. And you see right here, it's not even sitting on the truss. Not even sitting on there. See? They missed it, so that's just floating. This piece here is. And this piece already come out, just trying to get the vent out.
And you'd think with all them tiny little staples they got in there, that would hold it in real good, right? Man, oh man, I tell you, it's a shame. It's a shame. And these are things you're not going to see when you go look at a camper and you go to buy it. You don't see all this. Oh yeah, we put that roof on, looks good. Or if you buy a used one, a lot of times they put the coating on there. Yeah, that roof is all set. Yeah, coatings are worthless, absolutely worthless. We don't even do coatings here at all because you don't want to put them on an RV. Not at all. It's another RV industry scam. That's right. Let's tell these people they need to put this, that, the other thing on there. So now we're going to be looking for, I like seeing this. That's a plus. That means that the wires aren't going to get compromised. That plastic piece, it's a ferrule. Should be another one down inside there. It usually sits down inside another one. So that's good. When we get all this up, we'll check the AC ducts and everything. We'll check it all out. So I just wanted to give you a heads up where we're at. Now we're getting this back off of here. See, look how thick this is. Look how thick that is. This piece actually probably a little thicker on here. But that's all that is. This is just what they call 1/8 inches, 2.7. You know. And this one actually looks a little bigger, a little thicker. This looks like 5 mil on this. So it's cheaper on the wall. The wall probably isn't even. It's not glued on either. The wall isn't glued on. There's not one stick of glue in there at all. See if I can. There's no glue. Nothing. But anyhow, that's that. And all the water gonna run down. It'll run down in this spline in this track right here. Right there. It'll run all the way down in there. So then I'll go down to the bottom. We did a hideout this way. And the hideout, that bottom corner down there, was all rotted, and the same on the opposite side, because the water was getting in that way through here. Because that just sits in, that's an insert that sits in. The stuff that we use now will snap inside and outside. Much better product. I don't have a piece. I'll have to find a piece to show you. See the track right there? That slot? Well, that's what this does. It sits in like that, and then the water gets down in there. It'll get right in here. So this is what we use. This is all special order. They don't even make this for RVs. They had to special order it. But it'll snap in and over. Because there's a groove in it. See the groove? Got that groove. That's what will sit in and out. Will keep all that water out. Right inside there. And then it snaps over it as well. So it does both. Keep all that water out. The RV industry doesn't want to buy this. It's too expensive. That's the right stuff to use. Alright, so obviously we got the roof deck up. You know why we're missing a piece right in here. We're going to fill that in. But insulation is, it's like paper thin, like literally. Look how thin that is. Wow. That was a little better, but it is. It's probably just a scrap piece they had, so throw it in there. But this one don't look so thick either. The other thing we're looking for is make sure these wires, we've got protection here, protection there. That's what we're looking for. We don't see any trunk lines or AC. You just have this AC down here. It has what's called a lower control. The air just flows down. You know, it kicks off that way. It looks like maybe over even this way, and the same with that other one possibly. But it doesn't look like, I don't see a trunk line. But maybe I'll go over there. That may be it right there, that big hump over there. So I want to double check all that. All the trusses, you can tell these are wood trusses, not OSB trusses. The more screws you put in them, you just split them. So we're going to end up stapling this down. And that's about it. So you can see the same thing in the front here. How thin that is. Gee whiz. That's some thin stuff. Okay. We'll go around this side and double check. Yeah, that's probably what it is. More on this side. That trunk line. We're going to pull some of this back. We'll check that trunk line, like right there, that joint. We'll check that one. Make sure it's okay. There's your dead end right there. You just want to make sure that they're all as tight as they can be. They just put that strike of tape on there. There's 3 sides. They fold it and put the tape on there. Probably not much we can do with that. just kind of like to investigate a little bit. So we'll check that other one that I was telling you about. Like I said, all of these. There's just some wires in there, zip tied right to there. Don't know why they had them zip tied up to the top of there. Never seen that before. Well, they got the wires zipped up like that. That's it. So we just got that one joint. Looks like we'll check over there. You just never know what's going on. That's why I like to take a peek. So if I see something, I want to fix it. I just don't want to throw it back together and go, oh yeah, well I figured it was all set. I don't know until I actually put my eyeballs on it, right? So, like I said, I don't know why those are zip tied, but nonetheless, it's not in any harm's way, so we may just leave them alone. So, do this. Just check this trunk line right here where it splices together. There's a splice right here. I thought there was a splice here. One of these trunk lines. Is it on that one? No. I just wanted to see if they were okay. Is that a splice? If it's a splice, I just want to check it and make sure it's okay. That's what we're doing.
Right here?
No, on the trunk line of the AC. The big box. Right there. Is that a splice? I just want to make sure it's tight. If it's as tight as it can, you know, if it looks like it's about to fail, then let's get some more tape on it. So. Okay, so now the next thing to do is get some decking up here. That's our next quest. And fix that piece over in that corner. New decking going down. We've got it glued. Stapled up. These things are going down. Smooth side up. Normally on OSB they put the printing like this on the smooth side, which is the wax side. On plywood it doesn't matter, it's not made the same way. You can see all the adhesive we use. All that glue. We want her loaded up. Okay, you can see we have got the protective strips down. The other thing you may be able to notice a little bit of discoloration, like especially on there, we sanded those down. So once we put them on there, we want to make sure it look nice and clean. So now we're putting these on. Then the next thing we have to do is just cut this right here so it meets. And then she's ready for roof. And we're about to get at her. We have commenced the gluage. We've already got this side all the way down. This has already been glued down, or glued applied, shall I say. And now that's what we're doing here. So, obviously this being the passenger side, once we get that and it flashes off, some people call it curing, it's really cured, it flashes off a little bit, and then it'll turn kind of clear and have a nice sheen to it. And then we'll just roll her back over, and then we'll do the same to the opposite side as well. Alright, we're about ready to roll her out. Alright. Easy peasy. We take the balance roller. Take the balance roller now, and then we hit that, and then we'll pull this other side back and we'll get that. We got a balance roller that'll go on there. Need a cameraman. There you go. You gonna do it? All right. Let me get around you. I'm come you don't have a fine RV roof install shirt on? Oh yeah, we don't make them in XXX. He needs to go on a diet. So this is just a preset. And once we get that, we use the big one, the big red one with the blue wheels, the hot rod one. And then we'll pack her down with that. Now we take the big one and we roll her down. Take your time, roll it down nice and tight. We'll go over the whole roof with that. Alright, we're real close to getting this done. Real close. So what we've done, you can see we got the tape on there, and then we had to put primer on it. So we got primer that we loaded in there, and then now we're just trying to fill in. That's what we're doing over here. The first strike is a narrow strike, and it gets right into that deep crevice, right in there. That's all we're trying to do right now, fill that in. Then the second one will go over that and above it. So that's what we're working on over here. Just filling it in, a nice tight bead to get it loaded down inside there. If there's any sort of gaps or, you know, unevenness or whatever, we want to get it loaded. We want it loaded real well. And then what it will do afterwards, obviously we'll take that tape off there and she'll be done. But this piece don't look like it sits on there. I mean, it doesn't, like it follows it, but doesn't look like it's seated right. I don't know if it's that. I've run into that before with these plastic pieces don't always fit. But we'll have to work that. But maybe we'll take it off and readjust it. But it looks like if not, we'd have to end up loading that big gap in there, which is quite a big gap. But this profile seems to be fitting up here all the way around. And then if you push it in, it doesn't want to seat over here on this corner over there. So that's what we'll figure it out. We'll get it watertight. That's my concern. And make it look well, of course. And then any of these little silver screws, we end up painting those, so they'll be painted black. But that's what we're working on right now. So we still got the awning to hang. We got to get back on the track. Air conditioner put on, and then we put the antenna on. Wash the roof down. We got some nice cool decals that we picked up right here. RVRoofInstall.com. Alright, so we're going around doing the second strike. I already did this strike here. That looks real good. I also did this second strike, which overlaps. See, I had the tape there. I just peeled the tape off. So that's what I'm doing over here. You see on this side here, you can see the second strike right there on top of this first one. That's what we're doing. Then I'll peel that tape off. The trick is keep a rag handy. Then you always keep that tip clean as you're caulking. But it comes out real clean. Took us a few more minutes to do the tape on there, but I like it. On the other ones, depending on the roof, the black, it's real sensitive, and I'd rather it not have to wash it off if it gets somewhere. So, and also it helps us for a priming line is really what the tape is for, where we prime, so we don't have to wash the primer off either. Just makes the roof look cleaner. So that's what, like I said, that's why we put that orange tape on there. But you can use any color tape you want. I just happen to get orange. And I got green, because they go with our logo colors. Okay, here's our Sunset Trail done. Ready for the road. Let's go camping. RVRoofInstall.com. It's our website. You get a lot of these cool colors in here. You get that gray. And then actually JF makes all these. Those are premium colors though. And this is another color that I just got in. It's slate gray. It's a premium color. But we get that and a bronze that come in, which looks pretty well. So we're putting the slate gray on over here. That looks really good on that roof over there. We'll get to that in a bit. So the last clip I showed, I think I was just showing how I was doing the double layer on there. So we've got 2 layers of caulking on here, sealed up around here, sealed everything on this side. And then I sealed that. I showed you how we sealed that, put tape on it, and did all that. So one of the reasons why we do double layers on there, actually I guess you'd say 3, because when we install this piece down here, that gutter rail, the awning gutter rail, when we install that, there's actually caulking behind it as well. So one of the reasons we do is when these come down and they get filled up in the factory, the tubes, and this is Lexel, and I'm not knocking Lexel at all, it's actually a pretty good product, but it's really clear, and you can see all those air bubbles in there. So as you're caulking down the side,
and you're applying it, you're going to hear it maybe pop or crackle when you just injected an air bubble. So the best thing to do is maybe put another layer over it, because what are the chances of one air bubble landing over another one? So that's our way of being able to sleep good at night, not knowing, not worrying about whether the caulking is going to fail. We've already got technically 3 strikes on it. So you can see we've got all our curbs in here. And the way these curbs are designed, they have a flange on them. So any water, if you get caught in a heavy rain, bring this camera back maybe, you get caught in a heavy rain, that rain is gushing up, it's going to hit up underneath this counter flashing, and it's going to get forced out. It can't get up and around. So, and then all of this all heat welded. Literally, we got a heat gun, puts out 1200 degrees, and we literally fuse and melt it all together. The same with these plumbing boots. We've got a couple of plumbing boots. There's a good look at you can see the recession we made, how it comes over, then it goes down, then it goes back out. We made that there on all of the curbs. I just kept it on there. It doesn't really need it on this particularly, because water's going to get on the top of that anyways, but on the sides here, if water gets on the counter flash, it's going to roll off. It's not going to be able to get back in, and we don't have to worry about water getting into the vent. And even on, like in this scenario, because this roof has kind of a camber, if water got in on the other side on top of that flange, it would actually hit that lip that we made, and it would be more tended to roll out. I mean, maybe driving rain will get in there, but we're trying to keep out as much water as we can, obviously. So the boots, same thing, all heat welded. If you pop a cap off from a tree branch, all that's sealed. It's all sealed, and any water that gets down in here is just going to go into your holding tank. It can't leak. So that's easy peasy right there. And we got the 2 stands in the back. The air conditioner just gives it some balance. Then on the front, we've got counter flashing on the front. And the purpose of this counter flashing is, now you got the water coming across in a heavy storm, just blowing really hard. And it's going to come up and hit the counter flash, like I was saying. It's going to hit the counter flash and it's going to roll out. Obviously water is coming down, so it's coming down, it's going to roll across there, and up underneath there is a foam gasket. I don't even want it to come close to that, so we put this flashing here so it'll hit that, roll down, out it goes. And got our lenses here, 2 layers of caulking around there. Everything's already been primed. I think I've gone over priming. It's really important. Same thing with another plumbing boot, and then we got a couple more vents. But all that caulking come out real well. That word looks awesome. That looks clean. I generally have a rule: if it looks like dog crap, it's probably put on wrong, or you've got some issues with it. So I'm a real stickler for things being done just the way they should be done. It'd be prudent to at least inspect this for sure. I mean, it's new, it's fresh, so we like to see them come back about 30-60 days. Then we can see what it's doing. It's flexing, racking, twisting. And even though there's a sunset trail, you get another sunset trail just like it. It's going to have a different rack, twist, flex as this one. So we want to make sure everything's seated tight. That's why we encourage them to come back. And then they come back annually for your inspections. All that's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost anybody anything. So this is, again, we put a second strike all the way down there. Let me tell you a little bit about this roofing. This is a 60 mil GAF material. That's what it is. That's what this roofing is. It's the same exact material you're going to find on a hospital. You'll find it on an office building, a library, a restaurant. Same thing. So it is a structured membrane. What a structured membrane is, you can see it's got little screen inside there. See all those little squares? That's a mesh. And actually, here's a piece of that nylon mesh right here. You can see it right there by my finger. That's all weaved in there. So that's what gives it its strength against hail, against tree branches and things like that. If you did get a hole in this, you can do a hot patch on it and be done with it. So this is a sample that we made up. These are the common colors: the white, the gray, and the tan. Those are our in-stock. Every day you can get those colors. And again, it's a 60 mil membrane. So if you want one of these samples, just reach out to us. There's a phone number right there, 423-475-7663. Or you can also go to our website, and all our contact information is right at the foot of the page. But it's real simple. It's just contact us at rvroofinstall.com, and let us know, and we'll be glad to send one of these out. And you can kind of get your hands on it and feel it and love it and freeze it, and maybe you could use that as a camping plate. Good stuff for that. So that's our Sunset Trail. We appreciate you watching, Obviously, there's a bunch of videos on there. If this is your first one watching, you know, subscribe. And we try to get these on here, you know, once a week. We have had a span where it's been a little longer, but one of the girls that works in the office got kids and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you have to, this summer vacation thing kind of slows us down with those kids. But anyhow, we're just a little family-oriented company here, so we got to do what we got to do, right? We appreciate you watching, and we appreciate everybody who's been trading with us and supporting us and all the comments we get. And if you have any questions, you can either put a comment down below, and it'll be easier for me to get in touch with you on that. Just keep in mind that these are not DIY videos and not tutorials, anything like that. So, you know, we don't want anybody to think these are that easy that they can go ahead and then they have issues and say, hey, that's what you showed on the video. There's a lot of stuff that we do that I couldn't possibly show on every step of the way. It just isn't possible for me to do all that. But again, we appreciate you watching. Again, there's our website, rvroofinstall.com. A lot of information there as well. And you can see we put this on July 19. Every year this comes back, we can see when it was posted. The other good part about having this on here, you go to sell this camper, we'll transfer the warranty for the first 10 years. So that's pretty good. I would hate for someone to step on this roof and these folks want to sell it, maybe they want to upgrade or whatever. Someone gets on there and they're looking at it and most of these things leak. And they may want to try to talk somebody down and say, hey, wait a minute, that thing was just put on, you know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or whatever, right here, and it's still under warranty. You see, but 99.999% of the time, if somebody doesn't want your camper, the chances are they just don't like the whole camper itself. But the roof will sell this camper. A lot of our customers sell their campers quicker because of our roof systems on here. You know, and you can pressure wash this, by the way, too. You can pressure wash it. You can wash this up with just some simple green. You could use Dawn dishwashing liquid, you know, stuff like that. Real easy. And you just scrub it off and it'll come real brilliant and bright like it is now. Thanks again.